I'm Laetitia Rouxel, CFO of Evotec since April last year. I'm French, half Portuguese, living in Switzerland and working in Germany.
Hello, Laetitia. Thanks for being here to celebrate International Women's Day. We've collected a couple questions from our colleagues that we're hoping we can get your insights on. So the first one that we have is, how do you balance your high demanding job as Evotec CFO with your personal life as, a woman, a friend, a mother? And what do you think have been your biggest challenges in this effort to balance everything?
So I would say since very young age, what matters for me is balancing my life. So I aim to be a happy mother, to be a happy woman in my love life, but also with my friends. And I always aim to be a happy woman leader. And I would say the second one, which is in a way connected to this happy wife, mother, woman, and happy leader, is the fact that I set clear time for each of the elements, or each of the elements of my day. For instance, when I'm with my family, I'm fully with my family. I'm not on my phone, waiting and checking if I have emails from a business perspective. So I really set time, and I leave the time I'm in, and I enjoy the time. I'm enjoying massively the time with you right now. I'm very happy to have you. I hope it will be inspirational for some of you, but that's really my values. And I had to grow in doing that. When I started my career, it was quite impossible for me to enjoy the moment I was in and the people I was with. And now it helps me to really value the quality of my time, of anything I do, rather than the quantity.
What are the main obstacles you faced as a woman in your professional environment? And in particular, are there any that you think impacted your advancement towards your current management position?
I would say that my main area of focus around all my years career path from young age to where I am today, it's my ability and dedication to work hard. I think for women, to get the same recognition, we tend to have to do more than another man next to us delivering the same quality of work. So I didn't take it as a personal show blocker, but I kept in mind to always over-deliver to get the next step done. I would say that's one of the obstacles. Women of my generation had to work harder, and I aim that it's different for the new generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that you see indications that we're moving more towards an equal future where we don't have to worry about all these things so precisely?
Yeah, definitely. I like to say sometimes also back from 20 or 30 years ago when I started, I felt as a woman leader, either I was a likable leader, and people likes me, or you could be a competent women leader. And then it's more strong women, we don't like her so much, but she's delivering a good job. And it has changed. Definitely. I think the youngest generation is having a very different perception of female energy and man energy, valued both, which is for me a good momentum that shows me and shows us that whatever the diversity, here we speak about women, but it could be any other cultural or any other kind of diversity, it's welcomed by the younger generation. I will give just one quick example that I had in my career that was a kind of I took that as a microaggression where we were in finance, I'm a finance leader of course, but we were announcing some promotion round. And to describe mine, it was, she's very driven, she's very committed, she is really reliable. And my peers, when they had men at the same time, same kind of promotion, they were valued for what they were delivering. Strong competencies, strong deliverables. And for women, I felt that it was difficult to say that I was delivering as much as they, but I was valued for soft skills. And I felt always as a target for me to be valued for my soft skills, but also for my competencies. And I'm very, very hopeful and thankful of the new generation that you are part in to value the gender equity in the workplace.
Okay, so we previously talked about some obstacles that you've overcome. What do you think are the qualities that helped you overcome the obstacles that help push you forward?
I'm a learner. I love learning new things, so the capacity to stretch myself outside my comfort zone, not to overstretch because I don't want to be in stress zone, but just to stretch a little bit in anything I do. I think it's really the path that helped me to be the leader I am. And I would say for those, I already shared that with few people in the company. I'm CFO, I'm passionate about my role. It's not that I'm passionate about money. I'm not a money person, but I learned to love the techniques and what it can bring for a business to be a sustainable, profitable business. I wanted to be a ballet dancer. I was passionate from my young age. I was close to the Opera of Paris and I failed. Really suddenly I was 13 years old and I completely failed. So it's not that I saw myself in the role I have today, but I did a failure. I learned from that. I took all the good of being a ballet dancer. It's the principles, it's the structure, the accepting the repetition. When you're a ballet dancer, you do the same movement, tuk, 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 you know, like that, every day, and you still enjoy. And okay, accounting, business controlling, tax, it's always the same basics, but how you deliver it, it's different. So I learned to be passionate about all what I'm doing by learning, this learning growth path and learning acceptance.
So you learn to love your job, but some people, you know, this is in some ways a privilege, right? Not everybody shows up and they immediately love their job. Again, you said you learn to love it, but kind of the first step, what keeps you interested in your job, keeps you showing up to work every day?
I'm passionate about doing things with other people. I don't need to be successful by myself as Laetitia Rouxel, she has done that or not. What I really, my driver are to make it together, because that's the way I'm CFO today, because I work with people who valued working collectively, who helped me to grow. So this set of collectiveness in the success, in the hard time, also in a good time, supporting each other is, I think, for me, what really helped me to be where I am.
So harkening back to the beginning, what originally inspired you to take on this role of CFO?
It's a personal driver. It's for my daughters. I have two daughters, 19 years old and 22 years old. They are studying at university, and I really want to show my daughters that they are in the driving seat to choose their life. They can choose to have a professional life or not, and I want them to choose the balance they want to have and have the choice that it's not one or the other. It's not personal life or professional life. And really, I want them to have, I would say, the openness, not to think that it's impossible to have both if they want to have both. And at the end, it's their choice, of course, but that's what really keeps me awake, is to have the young generation not falling into any filters of how things should be done or what we perceive they should do, but they have really the choice and they take the responsibility of their own choice in their life.
What inspires you to keep inspiring them?
I was asked to go abroad for the first time, and I decided to take the challenge because it helps challenging my statu quo on how I do things, because the perception of people that are in a culture that you don't know, it's up to you to adapt and not the other way around. And it has changed really, really my way of doing things, and that's inspired me still today. I like discovering different ways of doing things, different people, because I think the options to deliver are, we have millions of ways to do things right. There's no good or bad. There's finding the one we are comfortable with and allowing freedom to do things in a more diverse environment and becoming someone more agile on being good in any place. In a way, I'm not feeling home everywhere, but I feel good anywhere with anyone. because I genuinely like having this diversity on where I am and with who I am.
So now that you have an influential leadership role, what would you say is your contribution to further the next generation?
My contribution is to remain genuinely conscious of any bias filters that I might have, because I'm a woman, but then by default I'm not all the other diversity that exists on Earth. And to make sure that when I take a decision for the company or when I give a point of view for the company, my personal filters are checked before the final call to say, hey, Laetitia, here you go a bit too much into what you personally want. And I always make sure that any decision I take and the way I interact with people is for the best of the company. So consciously removing these biased filters that we have created and we all have, which is good in our personal life. We do whatever we want. Here, I'm here to do the best for the company and for the people and for the patients, not for what I like personally. So keeping conscious of biased filters in the way I interact with people and being open, help me to be open with other kind of diversity. Women is a very little, it's just one chromosome different between men and women, right? So it's a very small one in reality. We have so much bigger diversity to encourage and be open with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Laetitia, for answering all of our questions, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.